He was there. He witnessed firsthand. I'm wondering whether he also had to pick Okada to look for where the suspects were being sent in terms of the courts. Mutala Inusa, the best media court correspondent in the whole Ghana. Sizeless Mutala. I have to call you Mutizi.
That lady, you can give fans.
Hey, and if it were you and
You
Calvin,
can give fans. I'm not surprised that you are the Gamma.
wow, look at focus. See, you are telling me that I can tease. Look at what you are doing. What are you doing? Are you not doing the very thing you are?
No, I'm learning from you.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm learning small from you. So that's why you should not be surprised. You can really tease.
All right. So yesterday.
Yes.
Wahala never dey finish.
Yes. Sometimes I always say that when issues happen and there have been an arrest, the night before, you struggle to sleep because you always have to be checking. You know, the court has spread all over the country, and depending on where they decide to go. So yesterday, when I woke up and I had the first information that I had is that the possibility that they will be at Achimota is very high. In fact, I have somebody who called me, give me all the filler that they are coming. So I was detailed at Achimota. Then you are seeing the atmosphere, and then you are realizing that the weather is changing, so you have to also try and change yourself. So yesterday, Okada was on show, so you are looking at absolutely. You have to find a way to get to the scene. So yesterday, and truthfully, we got to the scene before they even arrived, so we were able to give you all. So
finally, which court was it?
So yesterday, 2 circuit court in Accra, Circuit Court 10, presided over by Her Honor, Mrs. Evelyn Asamoah. Then Circuit Court 6, presided over by His Honor, Mr. Kwabena Obri Yeboah. So the accused persons were brought in badges. So the first batch, you have 9 of them. Another batch also came, 9. Another batch came, they were 10. And then the last batch that came, they were 12. So the first group, the 9 that went to Court 10, Evelyn Asamoah's court, we had Ama Governor in there. Governor in there. And you will see clearly that when she was arriving, there were a lot of things. You see the reaction in handcuffed, and she wants to give you that expression that, look, we want to, it's because we are crusading against Galamsey, because we are crusading against the ills and corruption in the country. You want to do this to us, and 26-year-old lawyer, you want to treat me like this. But the effects, and then the long and short of the thing, that 40 of them were on these 4, they were 40. So the relatives who were calling, we don't know where our family members are, we don't know where those who have been picked up are. So yesterday, all of them were arraigned. And out of the 40, like I said, I broke them down, I'll give you the scenario. All of them, 39 of them, have been remanded into lawful custody. So when I say lawful custody, it's either the police cells or prison's custody.
So why is it that some of them have been remanded into prison custody while others into police custody? What is the difference, and what was the reasoning behind that?
So it was not immediately clear the decision of why the court decides to, all that the court said was that for when they pleaded not guilty, and then their lawyers made bail applications for, and let me put on the group of 12, they were remanded into prison's custody. And what happened in relation to that case?
The group of 12 were the last to come.
Yes. The reason was that their lawyer indicated to the court that he just received the charge sheet and it will need time to look at it. And by looking at it, he was proposing that the court should adjourn the case to today. Meanwhile, the other badges have been remanded. And the court said that if that's the case, then these sets whose plea have not been taken go to prison's custody. But those whose plea have been taken and they have pleaded not guilty and they have been refused bail, the court said go to police cells, go and be with the police. So immediately,
which is worse?
Which is
worse? Prison custody or police custody?
I've had situations where it came up in court that accused persons were rather suggesting to the court where they want to be. Oh, yes, want to be. Sometimes when the reason they sometimes police will say remand them to police custody is that when they are continuing with investigations, they want the accused persons to be closer to them, so that they are able to make their investigation very quick. Imagine putting the person in Nsawam. Anytime you needed the person for an investigation, you have to go to Nsawam and bring the person. So it has become one issue. And even some of the lawyers, they even want their client to be with the police because within, they make movement and then conference is very easy for them. So I've had situations where a prosecution will make a prayer that remand this accused person to prison's custody, and the lawyers will urge the court to oblige them the opportunity to keep them here, especially for those who are familiar with that in Sawam, Amasaman, in Sawam Road. It's not an easy thing. So they make references to all these situations, and sometimes the court will give them what they want. Sometimes the court will deny their request. But yesterday, out of the 40 who came, 11 of them, one person is a subject matter of bench warrant because the set of 12, he was not present. Prosecution made the case that he was on police inquiry bail and he's aware that this case should come up in court, but he didn't come. So the court issued the bench warrant for his arrest. Remaining 11 whose plea were not taken have been remanded into prison's custody. But the rest, including Ralph Williams was part of the set of 10 who pleaded not guilty. And let me just recount some of the counts that the charges that were preferred against them. One, conspiracy. Say they conspired, all of them. Then unlawful assembly. That's the other charge that was preferred or leveled against them. Then there was another count of causing unlawful damage. The police made a point that when they went on the demonstration, they destroyed a lot of things that they were not allowed to have done. So unlawful damage is one of the counts that it was preferred against it. Then offensive conduct to the breach of peace. That one was also, they also deny that particular. Then assault on public officer. They assaulted police officers. A police officer is a public officer. Yeah, that's one of the things that they were. Then defacement of public notice. So they destroy billboards, political party campaign billboards, and all stuff. So they were saying that this is also another charge that they have to, but they have denied all of them, and for which reason they have to go into lawful custody for the next 2 weeks. So the set before His Honor Mr. Kwabena Obiri Eboa, all of them will come on the 8th of October. And guess what? 8th of October, the new legal year officially starts. Then the set before Mrs. Evelyn Asamoah's court, where Ama Governor was, will come on the 11th. But let's go and listen to Ama Governor when she arrived in court. What she said.
She has arrived. Ama Governor.
Your first husband, then you took our pictures and videos to panic, to make our parents panic, isn't it? You want to see us in this. You want to see a 26-year-old lawyer in this. Because she said, stop Galamsey. That's our only crime. Stop Galamsey.
Ama Governor. Yeah, sure, stay.
I want to go so they grant us bill. 48 hours. Not in a lawyer. 48 hours. No food, no water. 48 hours. Over 48 hours. No clothes. Over 48 hours. Y'all should be proud.
That is Ama Governor.
Yeah,
Her name is Elom Abibio, but many know
she's
her
popularly known as Ama Governor.
Yes.
And,
so Elom Abibio Esquire,
yes,
aka Ama Governor. So she was part of the set of 9 who appeared before Mrs. Evelyn Asamoah, and they have been remanded to come on the 11th of October. Then Ralph Williams, one of the conveners of Fix the Country movement, was also arrived. Let's hear from what Ralph has been saying when he arrived in court yesterday.
So that is Ralph Williams, who has arrived now. Ralph Williams and the second batch.
Thank you.
Okay. So that is Ralph Williams in front, in handcuffs, with the hat and Kwame Nkrumah red t-shirt. Yes, so they are making their way. I can also see
Indeed, we are all involved.
Yes, so
in
that
building
is.
our motherland. And,
Do you still remember?
Arise, Ghana youth,
for your country. Yes, so
the
yesterday,
nation demands your devotion.
Absolutely.
Let us all unite
You can
to
recite
uphold
all
her
this one.
and make her great and,
and
strong.
So there are people who can recite it, but they can't sing.
Oh,
And there are people who
Arise,
can sing.
Ghana
Hold
youth,
on.
for your country. I can do both.
No, yeah,
the
you can do
nation
both. So you
demands
are-
your devotion.
You are so intelligent and
Oh,
exceptional.
hey, this one.
But there are people
This
who can
one,
who
yes.
can sing, but they can't
They
recite.
can't recite it, okay.
Yes. So that one is there. So
It's
it's
all-
not easy like that.
And
The
also-
same thing that you've been able to sing every day. When they ask you to recite, that's samaba. So that
okay,
was
okay.
when
like the pledge.
you can always when they ask you to do, you can always, but when they ask you to line by line, matter will come. So that is Ralph Williams. Yesterday, when he was making his way into the court, he was rallying the other accused person. They were singing, "Arise, Ghana youth, for your country." And there was some reaction from some of the relatives who were
there,
in
okay.
court. And let's listen to what they have been saying and what transpired.
From the National Police Headquarters. He told me that my sister wasn't fine and so we should come to check up on her as a family. I got to the National Police Headquarters gate and I was denied access to her. I called the number for several times. The number is here. I checked mobile money. The name came Kennedy or something. We called for several times. There was this policewoman at the gate. The name was Japan. I spoke to her. I told her that, look, I just received a call from this number that my sister, who is diabetic and asthmatic and is battling glaucoma, is here. I am told she is not fine. We want to check up on her. The woman took the number. She also called for several times, but that number didn't answer until I heard that they were being brought to court.
Just took their camera from their car and they stood outside to snap, and then you took all of them there, and it cannot be. It cannot be. They are not parts. Look at their dresses. You should see from their dresses that those people are not parts. You should differentiate it. You should know how to calculate this. If nobody is talking, God in heaven will answer in Ghana.
You cannot eat any food because cyanide has gone into the soil. And this is what these young people are fighting about. And Mother Ghana, only God, and posterity will judge everyone involved in this. What is their crime? Their crime is trying to protect our very nature, our country called Ghana. Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana. And this is where we are. They are the criminals. The criminals are continuing with their jobs. And our sons are the criminals. God save Mother Ghana.
God save Mother Ghana. So some of the reaction from relatives
Yeah, that's a
of
father.
of the accused persons yesterday at the court premises, giving they venting their frustration, making everything tell that they are not happy with whatever has happened or is happening to their relatives and all that. But in all of this, there's counsel, and counsel has been speaking. You notice that all bail applications for the accused persons were refused by the court. One of the things that the court said was that if they are minded, they can come formally. Formally means that they have to come by way of an application for prosecution to also respond to that. And some of these things, sometimes it takes time. When you file, prosecution will have to be given the opportunity to go and look at the document and also respond. But lawyer Noah Doughty Tete, who represented the accused persons, has been saying, he said that, look, we're going to appeal against the decision of the court not to grant the accused persons bill. And let's listen to counsel who represented the accused persons yesterday.
We are going to appeal against it at the Human Rights Court, and we are sure that within some days we will have them released. So we're given limited time to have conference with our clients. So I'm sure with this, knowing where exactly they are right now, we are going to get their instructions and repeat the application again. And we are not satisfied because the main person why I'm here is Felicity Nelson, and she has not been brought to the court. So we have to look for where exactly she is, and I'm sure at the coming days, if we can't find her, we will bring habeas corpus application at the court to get her to be brought to the court. All of them have been remanded, and the plea of 19 of them has been taken, and 12 of them, their plea have been deferred to the next agenda date, because we raised the concern that they have not been served with the charge sheet. They only surprised us with the charge sheet at the courtroom. So we raised the same point, and the judge agreed with us and adjourned the matter for their plea to be taken. We are only disappointed at the number of days that they have been remanded, and some remanded into prison custody, which is clearly not befitting of people who are protesting for Galamsey. So we are going to apply for the proceedings of today and appeal against him.
That's counsel, defense counsel saying that, look, you are going to request for the record of proceedings and appeal against the decision not to grant the accused person's bail. So it's been developing now. All of them pleaded not guilty. So out of the 40 who appeared in court yesterday, 39 of them have been remanded in lawful custody, either to the prison's custody or police custody. But one person was absent, and there was no reason, so a bench warrant had been issued for his arrest. And
do we know who that person is?
For now, it's one of the accused persons. Let me check. Let me get the name. It's within the set of 12 who were remanded into prison's custody. In fact, the fourth accused person on the list of those. Let me just check the name and give it to you quickly. And so that is it in relation to this very case. So that person is in respect of Al Hassan Grace Asantewa. Grace Asantewa is the one that the court is saying that they should go after, because she was given police inquiry bail, but she has not been able to show up in court.
And so yesterday, Felicity Nelson was not part of those who were brought
Absolutely.
to the court. Okay, so is there a possibility that she'll be brought together with Oliver?
So one of the questions or issues that came up yesterday was the fact that we're hoping to see Oliver Barker-Vormawor and those who were arrested in court. And so all the eyes were, where is Oliver going to be and all that. So I was asking some questions, and my sources, what I did gather was the fact that those who were picked the day before yesterday will be arraigned today. So Oliver Barker indeed was picked up. He tendered himself to police a day before yesterday. So one of the officers confirmed to me that, yes, those people, including Oliver Barker, will be in court today. So we hope to see Oliver possibly with Felicity Nelson and those others who would be in the custody of the police. So today we are hoping, or we expect, Oliver Barker to also have his turn in court.
Okay, and there was a statement or a letter that was was circulated in relation to Oliver and his health of
yes, Oliver Barker.
You have the letter,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Can you take us through
it? The lawyers of Oliver Barker have been writing to the police, and what they are saying is that Oliver will need some urgent medical attention. In fact, this letter, which is on the letterhead of their lawyers, was written on September 24. That was yesterday. Yesterday, 24th September 2024, and it makes a reference, and it was as it were addressed to the commander, Greater Accra Regional Command, Ghana Police Service, Tudu Accra, and then dear Mr. Ahin Kwesi Ano, DCOP, and the heading is Oliver Barker-Vormawor request for urgent medical care. And the first point that they make is to the effect that, one, I will be grateful if you could promptly procure professional medical care for Mr. Oliver Barker-Vormawor, who turned himself into your custody at 2:46 p.m. yesterday, September 23, 2024. The second point that they make, or the lawyers make, is the effect that this request derives from the recommendation from a preliminary medical examination which was conducted on Mr. Bakavomawo after he was taken seriously ill earlier this evening. So this evening refers to when the letter was caused. And the third point is, additionally, we find it necessary to bring the following to your attention. A, that police medical care was not extended to Mr. Bakavomawo. And B, that private medical care which we procured for him had to wait at the police station entrance for hours to be allowed access to him. And this letter was written by Justice Stremsai Esquire. So that is the letter that lawyers of Oliver Bakavomawo have written to the Ghana Police Service, the Greater Accra Regional Command, indicating the health conditions of Oliver Barker, for which reason he will have to be given medical care. So this letter was got yesterday, and so today we will know more if he's brought to court or if he's arraigned, as we did gather.
All right, Mutala, thank you very much. With those updates there, definitely we are going to follow up on this.
Absolutely.
Get some more perspective in relation to how things are unfolding. There have been various reactions. Some have described the 2-week sentence as high-handed. Others to say that, well, the protesters did not conduct themselves properly.
So when it comes to cases of this nature, when persons are arrested and they are arraigned, the law says that you can remand a person for not more than 2 weeks. So that is clear. So when we are being remanded, it can't go beyond 2 weeks, especially when you are in lawful custody. If you are granted bail,
but that one
it can be depending on what the court wants to.
So they give them the maximum.
Let's say so. So when you are in lawful custody, when you are in lawful custody, that 2 weeks. The reason being that at the end of 2 weeks, the court will need to look at you. You know, some people go there, they are being brutalized, and some people go there, they take ill. Mm-hmm. They don't even take them to hospital. So within the 2-week period, they bring you and the court assess the situation. So if the court feels something has changed, the court wants to change its mind, it does. But when you are on bail, the case can even go beyond 2-3 months and nobody will have so much.
And that's why there have been various reactions. People say that it's quite high-handed that the police, the court chose the maximum portion. They could have probably gone.
But you know
lower.
the rules that also governs bail. You know, because of Martin Pebu, where he's Attorney General's case, that
everything
went
is
to
available,
absolutely.
So the lawyers may trigger the process.
But it's also subject to the discretion. That is where you draw the line. If the court is convinced, and there are certain elements that shows that the court will have to look at all those things. So until you convince the court, and yesterday one of the things that play out was that the lawyer was making a point about the fact that the accused persons are gainfully employed, they have places of abode, they have persons who have substantial means to stand as sureties for them. But prosecution make the case that as it stands, they are only mentioning all these things here. But we have to ascertain if indeed these people that they are mentioning are gainfully employed, they have places of abode, because sometimes people will take you to places where they are living before your checks will reveal to you that
didn't the same prosecution indicates the names and the professions of these people.
It is interesting.
Well, most of them are self-employed.
But one thing I have to let you know is that in Ghana, you don't know how the law works until you get into the grace of the police.
It's not necessary. It's not always the case that the law is applied fairly.
No, that's why I'm saying that in Ghana.
Oh, as for that one,
in Ghana,
you think that, oh yes, so, but it's not in every instance as well that the law is applied fairly.
That one is discretionary. Sometimes that's where discretion comes in. So discretion.
I think that at that point it becomes abuse of the law. It's not really discretion.
That is where it even. You are sitting in the chair right now, hosting. You decide how many hours to give me.
But you see, when you are an enforcer of the law, and there are guidelines to follow,
you need to follow
that you follow the guidelines, and some of the things that accompany some of the things you are seeking to enforce. You don't equally seeking to enforce the law, use lawlessness.
But sometimes you have to go outside because
see,
going straightly
we empower those who act lawlessly to continue.
But when it comes to law, I think the law will have to be followed. So that
It's
is
not-
why
but it's not
that's
always
why
followed.
absolutely that one I
You
agree with
understand?
you. That's
So-
why lawyers are raising issues with Article 14 of the 1990 Constitution, freedom of the individual. When you are being arrested, say you are innocent until proven guilty.
Absolutely.
All those people who were arraigned yesterday, they are as innocent as you and I said here, and we are talking. So why would somebody will be jostling somebody will be pushing somebody will be heckling somebody? Because the person is innocent until the law says that you're found guilty. But of course, it is what
Ghana
it
will
is.
be. Sometimes you have to just keep your
I know, right?
your thoughts in your head. Thank you very much, Mutala,
Thank you, my lady.
our legal affairs correspondent. This is the Morning Star on Star 103.5 FM.